Good morning, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host, and I've decided for the next few weeks, as we go into, dare I say, the word Christmas period, I'm going to be sharing with you growth strategies for your landscaping and garden design business that you can start to think about implementing as we go into the new year and beyond. So if you're interested in growing your landscaping and garden design business, I suggest you listen to this podcast. Let's go to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless. Through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods, if you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello, guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Had a break last week, mainly because I went away on holiday to sunny Spain, and it was lovely. It was lovely because it was about 22 to 24 degrees every day. It was lovely because I got to spend time on the beach, in the sea, just chilling. And it was a really good way to end my first competitive season as a bodybuilder. I got to eat off plan, I had lots of ice cream, and it was just a really nice switch off for 4 days, 5 days, and spend time with the family, which is always nice. So I hope you guys have got some holidays to look forward to, maybe upcoming or next year, because 100% have to recommend that regardless what's going on in your business, those times that you get to spend with your family, that you get to spend just decompressing, and that you get to spend just being present and in the moment is worthwhile. Everything, even if rubbish is going on, like I've spoke about in the business, we're making massive changes in our landscaping business. Even when all of that kind of stuff is going on, you could say, I'm not going to go on holiday, I'm not going to do that. But I was like, do you know, what's the worst that can happen? Naturally, it really helped move us forward when we got back. So 100% worthwhile taking breaks. That's what I'm here to say. But I've decided, as we are going into what is the winter period, the Christmas period, it's November. Why are we talking about Christmas? I need to stop saying the word. But essentially, we're going into that period. And for us landscapers, an unsettling time because we will be closing the business for a couple of weeks for Christmas holidays. And we've also got the unpredictability of the weather. And we all know that too cold, too wet, too hot makes it very difficult to finish certain jobs, and you've got to be mindful of the projects you're working on, the cash flow and all of that. I thought over the next few weeks, what would be helpful for you guys is to share some growth strategies for your businesses, because also this period calls for a time of reflection and planning. And we're going into the new year, and I know people will have new goals. I know you'll be thinking about what goals you've achieved this year. We've got New Year's resolutions, and that always brings up the thought of what we're going to do next year, what's going to change, what's going to be great. I start sharing with you some of these strategies, then perhaps they can form part of your plan going into next year. And before I dive into this week's, I'm going to do 2 a week for the next few weeks. Before I dive in, I also want to let you know that I am in the middle of about to launch a new opportunity for you guys to work with me, but at a much lower price point. So not one-to-one, but it's going to be called Office Hours. Now, if you are looking for a mentor, a coach, someone to help hold you accountable and help you plan out next year's business, then do get in touch, because I reckon it will be something that you will really love and you will really want to get on board with. If you want to find out more, just drop me an email. No, it's not. It's Paula at thelandscaperscoach.co.uk, and just pop in the word office hours. That's what it's going to be called. Enough about that. You'll find out more in the coming weeks. Today, I wanted to talk about 2 growth strategies, and they are the importance of referrals and the importance of testimonials. Now, I was speaking to one of my one-to-one clients this week, and essentially 2 of their most productive time has been spent, and the best way they get their clients is through recommendation and referrals, and also client testimonials. People find that these just add credibility to us as landscapers, and they're really important, but most of us don't do it. I'm really guilty of this. I don't think I've asked for a client review this year, not because I don't want them, it's just because other things take up time. But it's got to be part of my strategy going forward, and I believe it should be for you guys too. And it doesn't have to be difficult. You can pick potential clients that you could do an in-depth case study with, which then could form blog posts. It could form an actual case study page on your website. It can form multiple social media posts, and it's an opportunity to go back, visit the landscaping project, speak to the client in person, get some video footage. It doesn't have to be fancy, just on your iPhone if you need it, or if you've got a decent camera, do it on that. And interviewing the client about their garden and what they loved, why they picked you, how the whole process went. And that is one example where you can get in front of your client and really create a lot of content for the rest of the year, because essentially you can utilize a lot of the video footage and the information that you gain from the client to create social media posts, blogs, and it can be part of newsletters. The list is endless. You can really repurpose that content over multiple platforms and get it to do what you want it to do, which is essentially help you with getting more clients to choose you over other people. And the thing is, when you do have that opportunity to get in front of a client and get a face-to-face meeting, when you do have that opportunity to get in front of a client and have a face-to-face kind of testimonial opportunity, the best thing is it really adds to your credibility, because people are seeing an actual person, they're hearing their voice, that person becomes very real, unlike written testimonials, which sometimes people can be a little bit dubious of. Not always, but if you've got a few video footage testimonials as well as written testimonials, it just adds to the credibility. And the whole purpose of this is to build your credibility and reputation, because we all know that landscaping is an unregulated business. So no one comes and checks on you unless you choose to sign up for various things such as the APL or Bali or things like that, where people do actually come and have a look at your work. But essentially you don't have to. If you can try and build your reputation and your credibility through the use of client testimonials, it will only improve your sales process, it'll improve your lead generation, and so much more. And like I say, client reviews are such a good way to generate content for your business as well. Like I say, it's a mix of video testimonials and written, and you can request them in so many ways. So you could send out an email to them with the questions on, or you could send them an email with a link, or you could send them a WhatsApp message with a link to your Google review page. All of those things are repeatable. I used to utilize my House account. It was sending them an email requesting a testimonial with the link to the House account as well as a link to Google. And most people would pick House. So I had quite a few reviews on there at one time, because that was just part of the process of when we finished a project. That became the next step. You sent out an email thanking them, sent them a thank you card and gift, as well as then a link to the review where you wanted the review to go. And that's up to you. You can push your reviews on Facebook, you can push your reviews on Google, you can push your reviews on House, you can just push for a response to an email, and you can utilize that on the website and stuff like that. So it's thinking about, where do you want them to put the review? How credible do you want it to look? If you want it 100% credible, then go for some video testimonials. If you just want quick and easy, then try and get those written testimonials in so you can utilize them in your content, and obviously for ranking on SEO if you're going to push them to Google. So really, client reviews aren't difficult. It's a nice ending to a project. It makes them feel like you care, they're special, and it gives them an opportunity to give you any feedback, which is also important, because if something's gone wrong, how did you handle it and how did the client see that? If everything's gone right, again, what a wonderful testimonial to get. So it's really important because you want to get that feedback from them as well, so that you can then improve upon your service delivery. And like I say, it's a very simple way to generate ideas for content as well as build your credibility and reputation. And it is simply just emails or text or phone calls to generate that. You could have a book and a call with a client over the phone, and then you can create a case study from that. Charlotte, when she used to work for me in my landscaping business, she used to do this, was part of her job. She used to do this all the time, just contact clients, book in a phone call, and then create a case study from that, which we would then create, add the images of the project and put it onto the website so people could see the kind of project that we did and how happy the client was, and finding out why the client actually wanted that kind of project in the first place. So finding out their motivation, which can also help build your ideal client profile or your client avatar. When you find out what their pain points were, why they went with you, again, you could utilize this to highlight why people should choose you in the future, and that's great for marketing, but also to find out what their brief was, because a lot of people say, why did they have that? And most of the time, we don't really truly know unless we sit down and take the time with the client to find out why. So my call to action for you is to see where you want those reviews going, how quickly or how many people you want to contact via a phone call, which is obviously going to take a bit more time, and who you're going to send just emails to, carefully curated emails. And I would honestly 100% advise you to utilize AI in this day and age to help you with that, instead of just staring at a blank page wondering what the hell to write. And then it's just a case of doing it. And again, it's just a case of building this as part of the process. You deliver the beautiful garden, and then at the end, you request that testimonial. And so many of us, including myself, don't do that. So it's just making sure that becomes part of your process, part of your standard operating procedures, if you like, and you get on and do it. Now, my second strategy for you is recommendations and referrals. Now, something we don't really like to do all the time is ask clients for referrals. And I believe this is where you leave money sitting on the table. We have got, and you guys will be the same, you have generated business from existing clients, whether that's in the future or directly after you finished a project with them, because of two things. One, they're going to be showing off their new space. They're going to have friends and family around, and then the question will be, who did this? Secondly, they're going to have friends and family who have work done later on down the line, and they're going to ask for a recommendation. An example, just today, my best friend texted me and said, can I have the number of your window cleaner? Of course, I sent her the window cleaner, who I think is fantastic. He does such a great job, quick, turns up on time, gets the job done, off we go. And I sent her that recommendation. But what would be even better is if that window cleaner left me some referral cards or contacted me and asked me for referrals, because I could give him a load of names and numbers of people that don't clean their windows, which is most of us, I think, don't clean their own windows. And also the fact that he's just added a new service to that, where he does interior window cleaning, which I have taken him up on that offer a couple of months ago. He's coming back next month, just before Christmas, to be able to. I've got a beautiful inside and outside window clean. And it's just, why aren't we utilizing this sort of stuff in our landscaping businesses? Because essentially, people are going to be asking, who did that project? Because I'm going to have mine done. And where landscaping is such an unregulated industry, where it is such, as a client, you don't know what's right and wrong. You don't know a lot about landscaping mostly. You are going to ask for recommendations first before you go elsewhere. We need to capitalize on that. And a couple of ideas for you to think about that you could potentially utilize going forward in generating these referrals. One, you could make it like the customer testimonial. It's a standard operating procedure. It just becomes part of your completion process that you send out a request for a referral. So you could send an email, you could send a letter, whatever you want to do. You could send a text. If you want to refer us, here's our details. You could also, what I used to do, again, I haven't done this for a long time now, is with the thank you card, I used to have referral cards in there. So The client would get a lovely thank you card and a gift, and then they would open the card, and there would be some referral cards that they could give to friends and family who were thinking of getting their project done. Also, the bonus is the card that I used to send was all fully branded with Aura Landscapes, with a beautiful picture, project picture on the front, so they could put it up in their house and people would notice, oh, that's from Aura Landscapes, they must be a good landscaping company. Essentially, that was another way you are becoming front and center to clients, friends and family that come around and see it. You could also offer an incentive, and this has worked on and off over the years when I've run a referral scheme where if someone refers a friend, they get something and the friend gets something. Now, it could be something as simple as an Amazon voucher. It could be something as simple as they get £100 off a design, or they get X amount percentage off. Whatever you want to do, have a think about the numbers in your business, because as always, we come back to knowing your numbers, running cash flows regularly, and see what works for you. Because if someone gives you a referral, how much is that going to mean for your business? It could be a £20,000 patio, in which case a £30 Amazon voucher is a pretty good return on investment, if you ask me. Or it could be £100,000 garden, in which case you offering the new person £200 off their initial consultation or design, or however you want to work it, is really a good return on investment. Think about what your return on investment would be and what you're willing to spend to gain a customer, and make some decisions on that. So referral schemes can work really well. Or you could run, instead of an incentive for everyone that refers, you could run a prize draw, refer a friend. For every referral, you get an entry into a prize draw, and the prize has to be something significant. So I think I've done one before where they won a garden heater. I think that was probably about 10 years ago now. And we bought a garden heater, and then the winner of the prize draw did that. Or we did a much more regular prize draw. So every week we had a prize draw, and we gifted them a bottle of Prosecco or champagne for the people that gave the most referrals. There's lots of ways. You've just got to start thinking outside of the box. Think about, what do other companies do? You can look outside of the landscaping industry to get some ideas, but also look at what's happening in the industry. Is anyone even doing these referral schemes or doing anything like that, that if you start doing it, you will stand out from the rest? And it gives them a little bit incentive. If I did a survey with a company the other day about an app on my phone, and it was to do with landscaping. And for my time, literally, I just gave them feedback on using the app and everything else. And I booked in that call because I got a £30 Amazon voucher, and it's coming up to Christmas. God damn it, that word again. And I thought, that will help, because £30 goes towards £30 of gifting on Amazon. So that was all the incentive I needed to book what was a 20-minute phone call and give some valuable feedback to them. Think about what would incentivize you to spend 5 or 10 minutes filling in a form to refer a friend, and also what would get their friend to give you a call. That's two things to think about, and try it. It's all trial and error. Marketing is trial and error, and essentially, if you have a happy customer, they will be happy to refer you. So it's an easy win for you if you just ask the question. Back in my sales manager days, this was a major thing. People never wanted to ask for referrals when they'd sold what I was selling at the time, the gym membership. And I'd be like, why didn't you ask the question? And they were just too scared to ask for a referral. They were too scared to say, is there anyone you'd like to recommend to have a free 7-day pass with us? That was the hook, a free pass to try the gym with them. Their friend had just joined up, so they were excited to join. It should have been an easy way to generate leads that we would then contact to get in for their free pass. And then at the end of the free pass, you convert to a sale. It's not rocket science, but exactly the same thing applies to the landscaping business and any business really. You just need to be brave to ask the question and have something, an incentive that's going to get them to do that. So you have to make it relevant. Obviously, it was a free pass for the gym because that's what you need them to do. You need them to get in, you need them to get in the gym, you need them to feel the endorphins that exercise releases, and then you sell the product to them at the end. You need to think about it in a different way for landscaping, because are they going to want money off? Are they going to want a voucher somewhere? It's coming up to Christmas. There's lots of options here because people will be looking for ways that they're going to get free stuff so that they can buy more presents and stuff, hence the Amazon voucher example I gave you. But just think outside the box and then ask the question. And you could run it as an email campaign. You could call some select clients if you want to. So many people are scared to pick up the phone. It's the best way if you're going to have that good rapport with your client. You could send a letter out with referral slips that they send back. That might work because no one sends stuff in the post anymore, so at least it will get looked at. You could do a text run. There's so many options for you to offer a referral program. You could have it emblazoned on your website. You could have it running on social media, particularly if you're running like a prize draw every week or every month, however that might work. And yeah, the opportunities are endless. You just got to think about it in a different way. So they're my two strategies. Get the client testimonials and get the referrals. Again, just creating them as standard operating procedures that happen when you finish your projects. So that's it from me today. If you've got any questions or, like I say, want to find out more about office hours or working with me on a one-to-one basis, then get in touch. I'm on Instagram at The Landscapers Coach, same as Facebook. And I obviously have an email address, paula@thelandscaperscoach.co.uk. And I'll be back next week with another 2 strategies to help you grow and plan your landscaping business, ready for 2025. It's only around the corner, guys. We've got to start thinking about it seriously. I will see you guys next week. Ciao for now, guys.